I'm going to give you some events from history, things that have happened, and we have to write down the year in which we think they happened.
Right.
All we have to do is be nearer than other people.
OK.
All we've got to do. Have a little go at home, see if you can beat everyone in the studio here. The first year I'd like you to write down, please, is the year that Al Capone is born. When was Al Capone born? Does everyone know who Al Capone is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That boxer, isn't he? I'm joking.
Again, I have to... I keep forgetting you're an actor.
I'm thinking, yeah, Sylvester Stallone, really.
No, sorry, he would have...
Is he still alive?
Al Capone, you'll find out soon enough.
I think I've gone too early.
OK, everyone's in. Melanie, you've got the look of someone who doesn't know who Al Capone is.
Well, I do know the name, but I feel like I've got him confused with other people.
Who do you think
I feel
he
like
might be?
he's like a gangster.
Yeah.
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 Let's just
I've
listen.
gone too
should we
late.
get
I
over
think
with?
I've 1938.
1938.
Yeah.
Born in 1938.
Yeah.
OK.
That's not quite right, I know.
Mark, what have you gone for?
I've said 1886, but thinking about it, I think that's a bit... I think it was a bit earlier than that.
Ruth, what have you gone?
I went 1918, so I went...
1918, says Ruth.
Something.
Jenny, where are you?
I was just thinking 1942, but that's when he was probably in his prime.
Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking too.
Not about when he was
bad.
born.
So we're very much Second World War-y on the seats 1 of 4. Mark, 1886. 1918 for
Way
Ruth.
before.
What do you think at home? Let's find out. When was Al Capone born? Very well done at home. If you said... 1899 was the answer. Mark, you just get the point there. Very well done. 1890. He was quite young then, wasn't he, when he was at the peak of his powers? And he died in 1947. Your next question is... Created to reduce air pollution, the first Clean Air Act passes into law in the UK. When was that?
Oh.
Gosh.
What do we reckon on this? But Clean Air Act. Almost certain I was taught this at school.
Now, how old do I think you are? That's the real question.
Oh, no, I didn't even think that was a clue. Now I've got to the age now where that's a clue. Everybody is in. What do we think at home? Mark, where have you gone on this?
Right, I think I could well be 150 years out in either direction.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling it'd be sort of 1834 when
1834.
the first sort of stenches were coming out of the factories.
Ruth, there's consternation at the top end of the studio. Ruth?
I completely went the opposite way.
1984 says... Ruth, thank you for thinking that was when I was being taught. Actually, I was at school in 1984, to be fair. Jenny,
Yeah,
what
we
have
were
you said?
both thinking about you at school, you see.
See, I shouldn't have said it.
You shouldn't
You
have said
ruined
it.
it.
You've, like, really
1982. I was taught it at school, but it was in history. It wasn't, in tutor group. 1982. And Mel, you're saying?
Yeah, I've gone pretty recent as well. I just thought it was like, it's the 60s, we're getting into, like, the environment.
I seem to remember learning in, Industrial Revolution type time.
I had that written down.
But we'll find out. When was the first Clean Air Act passed? Who scored the point? 1956. Well done. It turns out I wasn't taught that at school. Well played, Mel.
Well done,
Very
Mel.
well done.
Top marks.
If you got that at home, I absolutely went down a blind alley there. Mosley Street in Newcastle becomes the first in the world to have electric streetlights. When was that, I wonder? Huh.
It would help to know when electricity was...
Yeah, exactly. That was the...
I mean, certainly that's going to be part of the equation.
Would it help to have a map of Newcastle as well?
Yeah, it would.
What do you think at home on this one? What would you go for? The first electric street lights in the world. Everyone is in. Yinka, any clue on this?
No.
No.
1912.
1912?
Yeah.
Listen, it's a year, that's for sure.
It happened.
It happened. It did happen. We have had a 1912. Peter, gone earlier, later?
1899.
1899, with a lovely Victorian scroll.
Thank you.
Underneath as well. Vicky, where have you gone?
1750.
1750, says Vicky. Eddie, what have you said?
1735.
1735, you're saying. What do we think at home on this one? Let's find out. When was this and who has scored the first point of the round? 1879. It is Peter. Well done, Peter. Nicely done.
Yes!
Needed it.
I was close.
Needed it. Next one. When did this happen? The Jacobites, led by Bonnie Prince Charlie, are defeated at the Battle of Culloden.
I don't even know what that means.
What? Are they
It
even
means
real words?
the Jacobites, they were led by Bonnie Prince Charlie, and they were defeated at the Battle of Culloden.
Don't know.
But when did it happen? Vicky's happy.
No, I'm not.
Vicky's gone portrait as well.
Always.
Yeah, always portrait. Never knowingly not portrait.
No, that's like my photos. I like
Yeah,
portrait.
exactly. What do you think at home? This is one of those ones that some people will know absolutely bang on. Not me. Peter, what are you saying on this?
Well, it's a complete guess, 1649.
1649, with a sort of Jacobite scroll underneath.
Yeah,
Which is subtly different to the Victorian one.
Yeah, you noticed.
Oh, you can see the Victorians built on it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course they did. We all have to. Vicky, what are you saying?
I did 1601.
1601, so we're not far away from each other here. Ellie?
I went for 1807.
1807, says Ellie. And Yinka? 1412. You never know. You never know. So there's a big variation. So what do you think at home on this one? Who has scored this point? When was the Battle of Culloden? 1746. Ellie, you get the point.
Oh, well done.
Wow.
Well done.
Well done.
Very nicely done. 1746 was the Battle of Culloden. We've all learned something which we will all instantly forget. Thomas Cook organises his first excursion by rail from Leicester to Loughborough. So that was the beginnings of the Thomas Cook Company. When did Thomas Cook organise his first excursion, which was by rail from Leicester to Loughborough?
I'm gonna go.
Sort of the start of travel agency, really. What do you reckon at home on this one? Jack, what were you thinking here?
I've gone 1899.
1899.
Industrial Revolution went all around there, steam and all that.
Oh, yeah, steam and all that.
Yeah.
Leicester to Loughborough, steam.
Yeah, so I think
Yes,
maybe he jumped on a train.
Yeah. Someone invented it. He jumped on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe, where have you gone?
I've gone 1921. I just had visions of them in, like, flapper dresses with picnic baskets.
Oh,
and it
that's nice.
felt right.
Una, where are you?
I thought 1940. I don't know why.
1940.
yeah.
You just thought there's a war on. Let's all go on holiday.
Yeah.
And Emmanuel?
1930.
1930. So we're all in roughly the same place. What do you think at home on this one? When was that first package holiday, I wonder? It was 1841. Jack, you get the point. You're closest.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. 1841. Good old Thomas Cook, who was ahead of his time. Next one. The first gold sovereign coin is issued following orders from Henry VII. OK. I mean, that feels olden days. It's Henry VII, right? Whenever that was.
Yeah, I think I know.
What do you think at home on this one? Do you know this one? Do you know Henry VII's dates, for example?
I'm just completely no idea. I haven't got a clue.
Everyone is in. Joe, what are your thoughts on this?
1558.
Sounds like a year from history?
It does. It sounds
it?
very fitting.
Yes, it does sound fitting. If it's not right, it should be. Una, where are you?
I just wrote down 4 numbers, 1725.
1725 also sounds like a date
sounds like
from
something
history.
from a historical time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So far, we've all written down actual dates, which is great. Emmanuel?
1526.
1526, says Emmanuel. And Jack?
I went 1500.
Ah, so we've got 3 in the 16th century here and 1 in the 18th. What do you reckon at home on this one? Listen, it's olden times, that's for sure. But how olden exactly were those times? 1489.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
is Jack.
I think it was Henry VIII's dad, wasn't it? Henry VII. I
Yes,
actually
he
think he was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then he just preceded him after
Yeah,
in like
exactly.
1500. So that's why I went.
Yeah, that was it.
Nice. In what year was the Battle of Trafalgar fought? When was the Battle of Trafalgar? We so got taught that in school, John, didn't we?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
What do you think at home?
What a guess.
You want to get this one dead on? Everyone is in. John, the Battle of Trafalgar, what are you saying?
I'll have a go at that. No clue.
1868, says John. Shelley, where are you going?
I've went with 1885.
1885. So, similar answers. Katie?
I meant 1804, then I panicked and put 1904.
1904. And Collar?
I went, I didn't know, so I put
1765. So we're in 3 different centuries here. What do you think at home? Do you know the answer to this one? The answer is 1805. Collar, you get the point there. Well done.
I put 1804.
You were in 1 year out. Oh, wow.
That's mad.
OK, I've got to trust my
That
gut.
would have been amazing. I would have probably given you 2 points even for that. There we go.
I trusted my gut.
You know what, Collar? Well played. Of
course.
You've got a lot of yinker in you.
Yeah,
that's very
definitely.
good. When did this happen, please? Construction work begins on the Parthenon in Athens.
Oh, my goodness.
When was that? Anyone been?
Yes.
No.
I mean, it's not new.
Yeah, this is difficult.
Yeah, this is difficult. This is the round, Katie, where I'm so happy I'm not playing. What do we reckon on this one? The Parthenon.
I don't even know what a Parthenon is.
You don't know the Parthenon?
No.
It's that building in Athens that has all the columns that you always see on the top of the hill, yeah.
OK, no idea.
Yeah.
That helps.
It's a kebab house in Muswell Hill.
Yeah. Oh, I know it now.
Oh, yeah.
OK, what do we think at home on this one? The Parthenon in Athens. Shelley, what have you said?
I've said something BC. It's not even a number.
I'm afraid just to disqualify you from this round. We need an actual year. But it feels like it's old, right?
Yeah, it's very old.
Katie, what have you said?
1706.
1706 says Katie. Collar?
400 BC.
400 BC says Collar. And John?
200 BC.
200 BC. We've got about 2,000 years' worth of difference between our answers, and I still wouldn't know who's getting the point. Let's find out, shall we? When did construction work begin?
Oh, what a
447
shout,
BC. Collar. How about that?
Very good.
Yeah,
Big
very
round
nicely
number.
done. Well played, Collar. Good round for you so far. Final question in this round. The first contactless payment card is issued in the UK.
Oh.
Ah. I love a bit of contactless payment. Something like magic about it.
You just can't remember your PIN number, though, ever.
But you don't need to with contactless payment.
Sometimes you do, though, when you go
sometimes
over
you do,
£100,
Yeah, but I just can't remember, like, the first time when I didn't need to do that, and I had to do that.
You know, Collar, you can absolutely tell you're an actor, because the second I say contactless payment, you're like...
Visualising it.
Yeah.
I don't need my PIN.
We've all lived in a time where we didn't have contactless payment, right?
Yeah, it's...
I'd be interested to know the answer to this. Katie, what were you thinking on this one?
I thought it was pre-lockdown, and I thought it was 2017.
2017. Yeah, because there was chip and pin. And, yeah. Collar, where have you gone?
I went 2010.
2010, because sometimes these things are a bit like the first time ever.
The first time, yeah. I thought, like, there was a couple of cards that they were doing the fancy schmancy adverts. And being like, you don't have to put it in. You
Yeah.
Beep, beep. You know, and that's why we just beep along.
I remember those adverts because you did the voiceover.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah, beep, 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 all
beep,
that.
Beep, I did a beep, yeah.
Really remember it.
Yeah.
John, what have you said?
I've said 2009.
2000, so similar thinking, right? And Shelley?
I've went earlier because I figured that probably when it came around, I wasn't really too savvy with that whole tech. So I went 1997.
1997. Quite often with these things we think are recent, they do go back further than...
yeah, technology's behind the door first.
Exactly. Shall we find out, see who's got the final point of the round? When was the first contactless payment card issued in the UK? 2007. John, you get the point. Very well done. 2009, he said. We were all in the right ballpark. Lieutenant Neville Chamberlain invents the game of snooker. I mean, we know it's pre-Stephen Hendry. We know that. Everyone's in. Mark, what have you gone with here?
Gone with 1925.
1925, says Mark Ramprakash. Andrew?
I've gone too early here. I've gone 1868, but I'm pretty sure it's not.
1868.
Not early.
But when Andrew says he's pretty sure it's not...
Okay, he's got a point.
We all hear something different there. Stevie, what have you said?
I went 1929.
1929, says Stevie. And Anna?
I just like the ring of 1880, so I went for that.
1880, says Anna. So we've got a couple of 20th centuries and a couple of 19th centuries. What have you said at home? He was a lieutenant in the British Army in India, Neville Chamberlain. So let's see. The answer it was... 1875. Anna gets the point. Well done, Anna.
It's so sweet. That's so sweet. I know you're now immune to the point buzz, but I want more of them.
When was the first issue of Vogue magazine published in the US? In what year was the first issue of Vogue magazine published in the US? Everyone is in. Josh, how did you go about answering this?
Well, I thought the Roaring Twenties, so I went for 1925.
OK, that makes sense. Like Vogue, is that sort of the name, 1925?
Yeah.
Giovanna, what are you saying?
I don't think they've celebrated their 100 years yet, so I've gone 1932.
That's true. That would be a 20... Yeah, we would have just had 100th, wouldn't we?
It would have been a big old moment.
Yeah,
but we could have already had it and I've forgotten it.
We weren't asked.
Yeah, it's possible.
We weren't
asked to be involved in that.
No way. So Giovanna says 1932. Montel, what do you think?
I went a bit high. I initially thought a lot lower than this, and I thought I was being ridiculous, but now it's
1960. It could be like at the start of the swinging 60s.
I thought it was
I can see that.
1940 at first.
And Will?
This does look a bit dodgy,
OK.
Josh's answer, but I put 1967, right, and I scribbled it out, and I put 1925.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
how about
I did
that?
a little peek.
1925.
Yeah, it was.
So we've got 25, 25, 32 and 60. What do you think at home? Who's won the point here, I wonder? The first issue of Vogue was published in... 1892.
Wow.
Will and Josh, you both get a point.
Thanks, mate.
How about that? 1892.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? That's why we missed the 100th anniversary.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Blimey. The next question I'd like you to answer is this. The Treaty of York is signed, defining the border between Scotland and England. When was that?
That Treaty of York.
That feels harder than the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone is in here. Giovanna, I'm going to come to you first, so I have to come to somebody first. What are you going for?
It's a stab in the dark. It's 1405.
1405. I mean, it could be.
It could be.
Yeah, in 24-hour clock, it's probably right. Montel.
I love that we're like hundreds of years out, everybody. 1702.
1702?
No,
These are all years.
It's a great number.
These are all years.
You can't argue with that.
Will?
1700.
1700 says, well, just 2 years out from Montel. And Josh?
1482.
1482.
Yeah.
Oh, we're close.
OK, so you're both in the 15th century, you're both in the 18th century. What do you think at home on this one? I am not going to venture an opinion. Let's find out, shall we? When was the Treaty of York signed?
Wow.
1237.
Like...
Giovanna, you get yourself a point. Well
OK,
done.
that was a delayed reaction.
Giovanna gets a point. You would think that they would do that rather than in York, which is quite a long way from the border, maybe like T-base services or something. But you know, there's somewhere where you can get a coffee and it's quite close.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done.
Comfort break.
Yeah. Final question in this round. In what year was the Girl Guide Association established?
Oh, I should know this. I was a Girl Guide.
I was too.
Oh, you were both Girl Guides?
Yeah, for a very long time.
There'd have been like a badge somewhere that would have had the date somewhere.
Yeah.
Surely.
It's definitely.
What do you reckon at home? Do you know the answer to this one? Montel, former Girl Guide, what are you going for?
I went 1940.
1940.
No idea.
Just at the start of the war, they just said, you know what we need?
They went, you know what we need? Get up morale. Let's boost morale.
Will, you're saying?
1875.
1875, says Will. Josh?
Well, women were actually invented in 1750.
OK.
And then I've gone for
So 1800?
1800.
Yeah, 50 years later, right?
Yeah.
And another former girl guide, Giovanna?
I've got 1963.
1963.
Yeah.
You're thinking it wasn't there for long before I started out.
When it gives about 30 years before I started.
Oh, really?
I feel like And I it's was probably... in the 90s. Yeah, I feel like it's probably about 60-something years old.
Oh, OK. So we've got all the way from 1800 to 1963. What do we think at home? Let's find out who scored the last point of the round. When was the Girl Guide Association established? 1910 is the answer. Montel, you get the... I mean, 30 years out, but you still get the point.
Still in the...
It's not how, it's how many. Tablets away, please, everyone.